eye tracking? According to the Encyclopedia of Human-Computer Interaction, eye tracking is a technique used to measure an individual's eye movements so that the researcher knows where a person is looking at any given time and how their eyes are moving from one location to another. Scientists have performed academic research on how the eye works since the 19th century. However, it was not until the 21st century that eye tracking became a technology available for industry studies. One method required the test subject to wear large contact lenses that covered the cornea and the sclera with a metal coil embedded around the edge of the lens. Eye movements were then measured by fluctuations in an electromagnetic field when the metal coil moved along with the eyes. Current eye tracking technology is used to gather data on how individuals process information from the outside world. It provides researchers with practical data describing the usability of websites, software, and physical products such as smartphones. In addition, it is largely used in applied human factors research within the aviation industry, the transportation industry, and the medical field to improve doctors' surgical performance and design applications for the physically handicapped. Additionally, the retail industry is using eye tracking to study web advertisement effectiveness.
Another major application of eye tracking is in the field of human-computer interaction, or HCI. Eye tracking data can help HCI researchers understand how people process visual information and the factors that influence the usability of system interfaces. The science behind this technique revolves around the eye-mind hypothesis, which assumes that what a person is looking at indicates what they are currently thinking about. This means that eye movement recordings can provide a dynamic trace of where a person's attention is being directed in relation to a visual display. Most commercial eye tracking systems available today measure what is called point of regard, or position of the eye. This method uses a standard desktop computer with an infrared camera and image processing software to locate and identify the features of the eye used for tracking. The infrared light is directed into the eye to create strong reflections in target eye features and make them easier to track. The two main measurements used in eye tracking are fixations and saccades. Fixations occur when the movement of the eyes is relatively stationary, taking in or encoding information. Fixations last for 218 milliseconds on average. Fixations can reveal the amount of processing being applied to objects and define areas of interest on a web page. Saccades are the eye movements occurring between fixations, typically lasting for 20 to 35 milliseconds. The purpose of saccades is to move the eyes to the next viewing position. Visual processing is automatically suppressed during saccades to avoid blurring of the visual image. Visibility, meaningfulness, and placement of specific elements can be objectively evaluated and results used to improve the design of an interface. For example, when participants are asked to search for an icon on a web page, a longer than expected gaze before eventual selection would indicate that it lacks meaningfulness and probably needs to be redesigned. There have been several meaningful takeaways from eye tracking research, specifically for web pages. A few examples include: put your most valuable content above the fold. Not surprisingly, above fold content is looked at the most. The left side of your page is important. Eye tracking studies indicate that users spend most of the time with their eyes on the left half of the page. And finally, get rid of banners. People ignore web banners. This banner blindness is now accepted internet wisdom and usability common sense.
We have demonstrated how eye tracking is currently being used to improve website design and usability. Now let's explore other areas that are using eye tracking. One field where eye tracking is being employed is developmental psychology. An NYU study used head-mounted eye trackers to determine how infants played with toys and interacted with their mothers. Another field is package design. A cosmetics company in Sweden used eye tracking to determine whether a new 3D label had anything to do with a 90% increase in sales. It turns out it did. Other areas where eye tracking is used include the military, primate research, sports research, advertising, and education. The future for eye tracking cannot be seen with the naked eye. The advances in eye tracking technology and research will allow us to interact with devices in a way that we can only dream of. We may soon control our computers, smartphones, and other devices with our eyes. Let's go to Daysi in our Technology Testing Center.
Oh, I have to sit ergonomically. Gosh, these are a lot of assignments.
The software and products which use eye tracking to control devices already exist, but the cost must come down for widespread use. Also, products like Google Glass will open up even more applications of eye tracking. In addition, the gaming industry could be radically changed by eye tracking research. Gaming could become an even more immersive and entertaining experience by leveraging this technology. In the future, what will we see?